Hey friends, today we are unboxing this auto heat press from htvront. I'm going to show you how I set it up and what settings I used for my first mini project that I tried using this machine and the HTV vinyl that htvront has sent over. I'll show you how I made this layered daisy design on this cute linen pouch where I used the xTool M1 to cut out the design and the auto heat press from htvront to iron it onto the pouch. But before that, did you know that htvront is celebrating its third fans carnival? They sent over this really adorable tiny luggage bag, a hand carry if you will, filled with a bunch of htvront products and goodies. Let me show you what they sent. So they included a bunch of vinyls in the bag, and the yellow and white actually inspired the layered daisy project that we're doing in this video. It's actually filled with a bunch of htvront merch and products. The Fans Carnival is the biggest event for htvront this spring. It's a huge sale and it runs from April 8th to the 21st. And I have a special discount code for you guys if you're planning to get a bunch of stuff from htvront as well. They're on the screen now. Use these codes or scan the QR, and these codes are valid up until the 21st this month. Oh, and here's another product that I'm excited with that they've included in this PR package. Acrylic paint markers. I haven't tried them yet, but I'm going to swatch them and I'll be sharing them on my Instagram. So follow me there if that's a thing you want to see. Thanks to our friends over at htvront for sending this lovely PR package, and most importantly, for sending us this auto heat press. It usually retails at almost £400, but because of the carnival sale, you can get it for as low as £319. And there are a lot of other discount codes that you can apply on top of this current discount as well. I specifically requested for the unit in white because it was a good match for my xTool, which is also white as well. This unit has a 15-inch by 15-inch base plate, which is great because that means I can do a big range of projects using this machine. htvront also sent a bunch of vinyls, and everything that I'll be using in this video and any future videos are all from htvront. So setup is pretty easy. All I had to do was plug it in. I am personally using this xTool M1 to create the design. If you want to see the unboxing and instructions for the xTool M1, I'll put the link below. I have a video that you can check out. So this is just a quick overview of what I did. So I created the design and made sure to flip the text. Any text should be flipped. I made this mistake a couple of times, so don't forget to flip the text. So I added this flower image that I got off of Canva, and then I just used the trace feature so it could trace the shape, and that will be the shape that I also set to cut. So I just deleted the original image, and now I have my flower shape that I'm going to cut, and it's also going to need the little round center, which I'm just easily adding in a shape, and that's a circle, and I'm just resizing it, making sure it's the right ratio and proportion that I want it to be. Once I got that sorted out, I just selected the flower and just resized it, and then multiplied it a couple of times and made like a border around the text that I created earlier on. If you know the song that I used as a reference for this design, type the title in the comments below. Now that I have all the elements in place, I'm now going to group them according to the color that I want to cut them in. So the text, I'm going to set it aside as one group for silver. Then I'm going to select all the flower shapes because that's going to be white. I group them together and then set them aside as well. And then I go on ahead and select all the circles because that's going to be yellow. Remember, when resizing one thing, you have to select everything and resize all three groups. Otherwise, your scale will be off. I then prepared my vinyls. I cut them to size. So for this particular pouch that I have, I cut a yellow and a white vinyl to the size of 12 cm by 9 cm. And the silver one for the text was roughly about 3 cm by 6 cm. I usually overthink these things, but I just decided to wing it with this one. Now that all the sheets are cut to size, we are going to use the xTool M1 to cut out the design. This is a laser cutter and a blade cutter machine, and we are using the latter for this particular project. So find the glossy side of your sheet, and that's the one that you stick onto the sticky mat. So again, glossy side down. So I just arranged them aligned to the guidelines on the mat and just pressed them down securely. If you want to learn more about the other features of this machine, I have the full video and I'll put it in the link below. When you close the lid, the camera on the machine will refresh and it will reflect on your screen. So now it's just time to move the elements in place. So I put in the dots on the yellow sheet, the flowers on the white, and the text on the silver. For the settings of this cut, I chose a blade cut and then the material as PU HTV vinyl. Then I selected everything and moved it into place. When you select elements, this option comes out at the right. For the cut pressure, I just put it at about 105 with the speed at 80. I clicked process, did the framing twice, and then just set forth to cut the vinyl sheets. If you're interested in this machine, I'll put the link down below so you can go check them out. xTool M1 has been amazing for my crafting. Now, while I left that to cut, I went back to my auto heat press and turned it on. The buttons may look intimidating, but trust me, when you get the hang of it, my goodness, it's super easy. So you want to set the temperature and you can go up or you can go down. For me, we're going to set it at 310 for 15 seconds. So now that it's at 310, I click on the clock and then that changes the time. So that's at 15 seconds and that's basically it. We just wait for the red flashing button to turn green, and while that's heating up, I go back to my cutting machine and I start weeding the vinyl. So when you're weeding, you're basically peeling off the negative space from your vinyl. So what we're wanting to do is take out the excess, the things that we don't want to stick onto the fabric. Weeding can be actually tedious, especially when you're dealing with intricate text. xTool cutting blade settings have been actually very impressive. I haven't had that steeper of a learning curve than when I was using the Cricut before. So the trial and error wastage is significantly reduced. As you can see, I am weeding the letters and they're actually really tedious. So I was taking extra care when peeling off the negative space. After going through the little details and taking the bits and bobs out, I now have all three weeded and ready to go. So I got this cute linen canvas pouch from Temu, and this is what I'm going to use today. So I'm going to first press my first layer of white flower shapes onto the sheet, and I'm going to set it at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. So I put it on the plate, put on my Teflon mat, and then just waited for it to press. After 15 seconds, I pulled it out and I honestly put it in the fridge because I couldn't wait that long for it to cool down. And then once it's fully cooled down, it was easy to peel it off. And when I say it, I mean the clear plastic that the vinyl is sitting on. Now when that's done, a little more tricky part would be adding the other layer because you want to be as center, as aligned, as precise as possible. And I think I did a pretty good job putting in the tiny centers for these flowers. Now that I'm confident that it's in place, I'll do the whole thing all over again, put on the Teflon protective mat on top, and then iron it again. But this time I increased the temperature to 320 for 20 seconds. I just changed the temperature just because I was following another tutorial or another video when that person was doing layering, and that's what she did. For every layer that she added onto the press, she also added increments in the temperature and the time press. Again, it's important to leave it to cool off, and that's when you peel off the plastic layer on top. When that's all set, I repeat the whole thing. I add another layer, which is the final layer that I have, the silver vinyl. And do note that I needed to put the plastic layer back on top, just so the already pressed layers that I've done earlier won't stick onto the heat protective Teflon. And we're finally done. Another couple of seconds in the fridge for it to fully cool down, and I peeled off the sheet, and this is how it turned out. And I'm absolutely thrilled with the result. I have done a bunch of other designs as well, and I'm going to continue doing a whole lot more projects and activities using this heat press. htvront has sent a bunch of other sheets in different colors, which I'm going to try in different other projects, so don't forget to click subscribe, and I'll be sharing more craft projects with you in the future. To be specific, come back on April 12th and I'll be sharing another htvront video then. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video through till the end, and I will see you in the next one. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead. Bye friends!